Good evening. This is live at live at Pompeii. We have the the 31 of November 2020, and actually we have a date with Max Egan, who now is at the second time not present. He feels ill. A week ago, 2 weeks ago, I had the first meeting with Max Egan, and we confirmed that we would meet on a regular basis, talking about the master plan to free the world. To free the world according to this Corona theater. And we have a message to the English-speaking world, but now this call has to be once again postponed because he doesn't feel good. And I'm actually not sure whether he gave us the message that he doesn't feel well, or somebody else sent us a message by email that he doesn't feel well. And I come to the conclusion that something happened perhaps to Max Egan. So we are now about 30 people present in this Zoom call. And I feel a little bit concerned that this call is now once again cancelled. But I feel it's very important to inform the English-speaking world that out of Germany, there comes out a plan, a master plan, how to come over this Corona theater, this prison of the world. And yes, I'm a little bit disappointed that once again this meeting doesn't happen. How many of you are now present who are normally not present in our daily German meeting? Is there any foreigner out of Germany who's present now?
Me, Heidi.
Okay. But just another German-speaking lady.
Okay.
We have here in Germany the problem that there's a lot of controlled opposition who doesn't forward the message. And taking account that this might be the case, that there is nearly or no not controlled opposition in the world, we have to start from the very beginning. So I want to inform the people of the world that there is a plan according to Corona to get down this Corona theater. And I would like to inform you a bit about the story. There's a very important document published in German on YouTube. There's a guy in this very special suit telling an incredible story. The story goes along the line that we live in a 7-step, 7-dimension universe. We, the normal people, are acquainted with dimension 1 to 3. And the 4th dimension is time. But there are more dimensions. And there, human beings step forward into dimension 7. And in dimension 7, they have a look all over time. they can see the past and they can see the future. A fairly incredible story. And they can have a look on our future. They have a look what happens when the people take the vaccine. And this future doesn't look bright. And they have developed a plan what we have to do to cancel this corona theater, to free the world. And there's some media where we get hints about this master plan. There are pieces of music, there are movies transporting very valuable information about this master plan. And I'm on the way to decode this information about movies, about music pieces, and there are a lot of hidden informations. And from now on, I'm going online, public, every day on a daily basis at 0 o'clock Central European Time. And I hope, I'm not just hoping, but I'm convinced that we will get followers all over the world who are really interested about this master plan, how we free ourselves. So it seems that we can trust nobody. Anybody who is present on YouTube, on any kind of social media, who has a lot of followers, might be controlled opposition. And those controlled opposition are more or less gatekeepers, keeping you away from valuable information how to free ourselves. And it might be now the hard way to step on the stage of the world. But I think this is now the way we have to take. So what we do, we inform our friends that there is a daily meeting at 0 o'clock Central European Time. And we meet us every day on Zoom to discuss this master plan, how to free ourselves. So I will discuss with you what we have to do. And I will present you day after day pieces of this master plan. Do you get the picture? Yes, I'm just a little bit disappointed that again this meeting is cancelled. But the informations are so important that we cannot postpone, that we must not postpone to get this information out. Would anybody of you would like to say something? Just press the micro button. Okay, perhaps I shall tell you something about this guy. This guy who is called himself Alexander Laurent, which is a synonym or a cover name, is in contact with alien beings. And there are some alien species who really want to get this information out. But for the time being, this information is only available in German. For this reason, I will present you part of this information in German. I will translate it into English. And the good news is there is a plan, there is a master plan, and they work this master plan really out. So it will work. The challenge is now to get many people informed about this master plan. The whole story sounds extremely crazy, but we have to follow now a crazy road to get the things done which have to be done. Does anybody like to talk to me? Not now.
I'm not so good in English.
Yeah. Okay, exercise your English.
I'm doing it now.
Okay. So you are a follower of all this information in English, in German. And may you tell me about the experience you have with these informations? I share now to this German group for about 3 months. What does this information which I share with you, does it help you in any way?
You mean information of the plan or of health or what? You mean?
Yes.
Of all?
There's a part of information about health because we have to exercise our capabilities of survival. And also this information I share with you about this Alexander Laurent. So you know about this information from Alexander Laurent, which is called in Germany, God is an artificial intelligence. And the normal thinking about God gatekeeps us. And we have to take this possibility into account that we are misled from any direction, from any media, which we trusted all the times, and have to take our destiny now in our own hands. So the time where we think the, how you call it, the guy who will save us, the savior, will ride about the hill on a big white horse and takes all our enemies down and will free us. I think this story, which always had to be told, which always was told to us, might be a bit naive. And in order to get free, we have to take our destiny in our own hands. And Alexander Laurent shares very important information to us, which you might get from alien beings. So this is now really a story which is extremely important for the whole world. And up to now, we just shared this information and published this information in German. But now it's a time to go really public worldwide and have to do this conference also in English. So we will proceed in our daily German Zoom calls, and we will start now to get this Zoom calls also done in English. Yes, how we call it here in Germany, all beginning might be not so easy, but without doing the first step, the next step will never be done, and we will never go down the way. We will never go down the road if we don't want to be if you don't want to take the first step. So the first step is now that we meet on a daily basis at 0 o'clock Central European time. And all the people, all the guys from the United States, from Asia, from England, all speaking, English-speaking guys are now invited to be present in the Zoom meeting. Do you have any questions? Would anybody else talk to me?
May I ask, because
Yes.
the problem is a lot of the Americans, they don't speak German. So you have your Zoom in German.
Yes, and this doesn't make sense for people who doesn't speak German.
Yeah.
So we have to start now with this English Zoom call. And it might sound not very professional if a bloody German starts to talk English to the world, but we have to take the start. Yeah. So Heidi, you might invite your friends in California for this Zoom call, which we will take tomorrow. And I will talk about more the story of Alexander Laurent and how this master plan was worked out.
Okay. I have one friend on, so she is listening.
Okay.
Hello, Andreas. I'm Donna Lee.
Hello, Donna. You're very welcome.
Nice to meet you.
Okay. Yeah, perhaps some words about this plan to free ourselves. So reality is not what we think what it is. The past and the future are connected in a higher dimension. And in this higher dimension, some humans entered. And there's a way that these humans of a higher dimension get in contact with ourselves, had been in contact with Pink Floyd, with a lot of well-known people, and they transported extremely important information, which, however, wasn't transported in a way or communicated in a way which was obvious or which is obvious for those who are the guys who control this prison on this planet. And this information has to be decoded. So there are a lot of songs, many songs of Pink Floyd containing this information. And I'm one guy who is decoding this information for you. And if you start to get acquainted with this decoding, yeah, you will be very surprised how important, how valuable this information is to us. And actually, it's more easy to transport this information if you have an interview partner. And I hope this would be Max Egan. In this last interview, he was very, how you call it, cooperative. And after this meeting on Zoom, I never saw him again. I just get very short information in writing from him. But I even don't know if something might happen to him, because he just canceled this call half an hour ago, which was agreed to happen at 0 o'clock Central European time. So for me, this is a little bit strange, or this sounds a little bit strange. Because those who are our enemies might do everything that this information is not shared with the English-speaking community. So we might have an enemy who does everything to stop this information to get over to you. And one decisive step about this plan is that there are special locations where the people have to come together and have to organize themselves. You might have heard about these Illuminati cards, which had been published in the 80s. And one card is called Southern European Vacation. And this informs us about that we have to get out of our town, of our village, of our cities, and have to meet at a special location. And in the USA, this location are the Keys of Florida. If we take a look on Google Maps, we see in Mauritania that people who have some more money as other people are gathering. So they go out of Europe. This doesn't look normal, is it? And a very important Illuminati card is called Let's Get Organized, or Let's Get Really Organized. Another card is called Let's Get Organized. So we have to get ourselves organized in two different ways. And the kind how we have to organize ourselves is part of the riddle of Gizeh. Yes, does it sound crazy what I just tell you? And I might promise you that what I have to tell you, the overall story sounds even more crazy, or really, really crazy. But we have to do crazy things to free ourselves. And yes, this plan how to free ourselves sounds crazy, but it is not boring. So this plan is even entertaining. So perhaps for the first step, you might be, how you call it, enthusiastic about this entertaining plan, which I will lay down to you from now on every other day at 0 o'clock Central European time. You're welcome. Thank you. Okay, I think this was the information now for today or tonight, which we cut and put on YouTube. Do you have any further questions? So I might motivate you to know some English-speaking guys all over the world to whom you might send an email and invite them for our Zoom meeting tomorrow. So we need now your help. Any comments? Okay. Assume the case you have a comment. Yeah. What would your comment be? What could you tell to me? Assume you have a comment in the back of your head. I know this is not the case. You don't have a comment. There is no comment, but assume the case there will be a comment or there is a comment. What would you tell to me?
Andreas, I'm sorry. Could you repeat that for me?
Pardon? Pardon?
Could you repeat that for me? So
Okay.
it's assume we have.
Assume you have a comment on my crazy talking. Yeah. What would be the comment? So are you interested to get the whole story? Donna?
Yes.
Fine. So this is a start. This is a clear answer. And it might be a plan that you get in contact with some of your friends and tell them there's a crazy German guy who is talking about a master plan how to free the planet. And it's not important that you believe this story, but I promise you this story is anything but boring. Yeah. Would it be okay for you, Donna, that you today or tomorrow morning contact some friends of yours and tell them or recommend them to take part in the Zoom conference of this pretty crazy German guy called Andreas Noack?
Yes, I would.
Okay, so I would welcome this very much.
Andreas,
Yes.
I did already tell Dana you are crazy.
Okay.
She
So
knows.
anybody who is not called crazy wouldn't do that. So if you start anything new, which is not imprinted in any kind of tradition thinking, it is crazy. But I think we have to do crazy things now. Only craziness may lead us now along the right road. Okay? Then for today or this night, I thank you. I thank to all those who are present now. And I'm enthusiastic about to meet you again tomorrow at the same time. You will be there? Agreed?
Awesome. We will be there.
Okay. Thanks a lot.
Agreed.
Okay. Thanks a lot and good night to anywhere in the world, especially to California. Thank you. Bye-bye.
Good night.
Thank you, Andreas, for all you're doing.
Thank you. Bye.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye, everybody.
Good night.